It was early morning in Atlanta. The city was just waking up, vendors setting up their stalls, people rushing to work, and the hum of life rising like a slow tide. Marilyn Brooks, a self-made millionaire and CEO of a successful luxury skincare company, stepped out of her penthouse suite and walked towards her black Escalade. Everything about her screamed elegance. Designer heels, a tailored coat, and that quiet confidence only earned through struggle and success. Her driver, James, stood by the car door, as always, silent, respectful, and on time. But this morning, something was different. His shirt was slightly wrinkled. His eyes, usually sharp and alert, looked tired, red, like he hadn't slept. Marilyn noticed, but didn't say anything at first. She simply got in the car. As they drove through the city, headed to an important brunch with investors, Marilyn couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. James was always impeccably dressed, always rested. But today, he looked like someone who had spent the night on the floor. She looked down at her phone, pretending to scroll through emails, but something made her open the vehicle's GPS history. She was surprised to see that the car had been parked overnight on 6th and Monroe, behind an old, shut-down laundromat. That wasn't near his apartment. That wasn't near anything. Her heart tightened. Still, she said nothing. But that night, after her meetings were over, after the house staff had gone home, Marilyn got in her own car and drove to the address she had seen earlier. She parked quietly at the corner, away from the streetlight, and waited. Minutes passed. Then she saw him. There behind the building, in a dark alley covered with graffiti and broken bricks, James, her driver, was curled up on a piece of cardboard. A duffel bag lay beside him. His blazer, neatly folded, was being used as a pillow. The sight hit her like a punch to the chest. This man had driven her to galas, red carpets, award shows. He had watched her celebrate her wins, pour champagne, and smile for the cameras. But here he was, sleeping alone in the cold, while the rest of the world moved on. She didn't step out of the car. She just watched. And in that moment, Marilyn realized something deep: success means nothing if you stop seeing the people who carry you through it. She drove away silently, but her heart wasn't quiet. Something had shifted. She couldn't let this go. And what she would do next, not only for James, but for her own soul, would leave everyone speechless. The next morning, James arrived right on time. Dressed in a freshly pressed uniform, he greeted Marilyn with a slight nod. As always, but this time she was already standing outside. "Morning, James," she said softly, handing him a coffee. "No driving today. We're going for a walk." James looked confused. "Mum, just come with me." She led him through the side garden of her estate, where the roses bloomed and the fountain whispered secrets, and then down a stone path toward a cozy little guest house nestled behind her main residence. The air was still. James walked silently, unsure of what was happening. Marilyn stopped at the door and handed him the key. "This is yours." James blinked. "I don't understand." "I saw you last night," she said gently. "I saw you behind that laundromat." He lowered his head, shoulders stiffening with shame. "I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want you to see me like that." She looked him straight in the eye. "You didn't deserve to be seen like that." Then she placed a hand on his shoulder. "This house is yours for a year. No rent. No conditions. You'll keep your job, save your salary, and do whatever you need to get back on your feet. Whether that means school, a new career, or just peace of mind." James stood frozen, unable to speak. Tears welled in his eyes, but he quickly turned away, wiping them before they fell. Finally, he managed to whisper, Why would you do this for me?" "Because someone should have done it for me when I had nothing," she replied. "And because the world doesn't change by people looking away." Over the next few weeks, everything changed. James moved into the guest house. He started sleeping in a bed again, eating hot meals, laughing a little. He even dusted off his old law school books and began studying at night. Marilyn shared nothing with the media. No posts, no press. This wasn't charity, it was dignity, it was humanity. But somehow the story got out. A staff member told a friend, who told a journalist. Within days, the story went viral. Millionaire offers home to homeless driver after secretly discovering his struggle. The public was stunned, not just by her generosity, but by how quietly she had done it. No spotlight, no cameras, just one human helping another. But the real ending, 2 years later, James graduated law school. Today, he runs a non-profit that helps homeless veterans find legal support, housing, and second chances, just like the one he was given. All because someone saw him, really saw him, and chose to act when it was easier to turn away. And Marilyn, she says it was never about being a hero. It was about being human.